Hello. Here I'm going to show myself stuck in a dungeon that my players might or might not enter next session, which means tomorrow. And let's see, I usually run very, very few dungeons. I believe there wasn't a single dungeon in the entire campaign so far. But this is probably a case where it makes sense to treat it as a dungeon. This is like some kind of planned wizard's, let's call it tomb, and we will get to it very soon. And yeah, I also usually do my prep with pen and paper, so I hope it still works both for myself and in terms of getting to see how I like to prep my sessions, or in this case, the dungeon. As I said, I usually prep my sessions in pen and paper, so this is the scan from the wider region. The players are currently quite deep into a forest and found some ancient ruins from some civilization they haven't quite figured out yet what it was. And they already saw this city, like the outer perimeter, but they haven't entered yet, and they've done other stuff, and they might enter it or might not. And the idea I already had for the city, like you can see, I made like a plan where stuff is, and I already had decided that inside the city there would be like this spirit of this plant wizard, which is like tied to some tree, so he himself can't leave, but he has started to spread his influence around and basically controls, like, can I show it? The idea is like this inner area. I'm not quite sure if it is clear to other people. This is just for me to get like an idea. So this is basically the thing that's going to be the dungeon I'm going to be stalking now. This plant wizard ghost will have, like, already has like influence to other places, but yeah, this is like where he has like an increased degree of control and where he has formed the the surroundings to his liking, and that's what makes this into a dungeon. The dungeon itself will be limited by like actual buildings, so like these are like small houses, like tree houses. They will be built into the trees because this used to be an elven city, and the smaller like houses where just like people lived will be part of the dungeon, but like larger structures as like this is a palace and other stuff will not be. Like there will be like vines going into those places, but they will be the outer perimeters of the dungeon. That's like the starting point from where I'm going. And I replicated like the dungeon part in here. I put like some of the buildings in there, and that's where we can start. During like the stocking process, I will figure out which of these buildings are connected, because like unlike normal buildings where you can just like move from one building to the next, in this case, as they're built into the trees, so they have to be like connected by bridges, which will be one of the more interesting things here, that like the players can both like walk in the ground, but then they are like completely inside like all this plant stuff, or they could like climb up these trees, get into the houses, and then walk from house to house, but they are the direction they can move in will be very restricted. So basically, while they're at the upper level, it's kind of like a dungeon. At the bottom level, it's like free. They're free to move anywhere. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. And the surrounding buildings are around it. Well, I've prepared a little bit. Like all the numbers I found here, I added to this sheet so I can stock them. And I think one of the first things is to get myself a proper table for like traps, the special stuff, the monsters in here, and yeah, figure out what exactly I want here. I used like the I believe standard. I believe it's from AD&D with like 1/2 monster trap, 4 special, 5/6 empty, which I'm going to use to stock this dungeon. During setup, I wrote down like a few ideas for like traps and stuff, but yeah, I will have to figure out more. In terms of the monsters, I have like a decent idea. So, and this time there are like a bunch of plant/animal mixtures, which the players have in parts already encountered or have like already written down into my notes and made like small sketches. So I have a decent idea there, and this might already be enough for the monsters. This is that. And for special, I have like not really an idea what I want to put there. I have like one idea, but I'm not sure if I want to go with it. Like this plant wizard, they have already like further away from this place, basically controlled like smaller groups. Like kind of controlled. They are like a semi-deity to them. And I'm not quite sure if I want like a sentient group, tribe, city of whatever beings in here. Or if this plant wizard like wouldn't really like them. But yeah, this is like one idea. I might write it down and change it later. So it's like or whatever. Or like, what do we count them? Like plant people? Let's call them plant people. This is one idea. Another idea, it's like, as someone that isn't really running dungeons a lot, I really have to think. I have like a table where I can roll in. I will look for that later. For like in general, like unusual ideas, which I like to like come up with on the fly. It's like a combination of like a bunch of words, and then it gets my gears turning. So maybe let's call it random table, but I'm not quite sure on that. Like if I'm already rolling on the random table, why add another random table to fill it in the session? But that might be an idea. And then I don't know. My plant people, same bridge. I think like the traps might be a little easier. And like the two that like already sprung to me were like if there's like supposed to be a bridge, but like the bridge is no longer there, so they are kind of there's like no way out of this thing. And also like living bridges. The idea would be like these bridges are made of like vines, and some of them are in the direct control of this plant wizard, so that would be one thing. I'm also thinking about a mechanism to have the players step by step get the attention of this plant wizard. So the longer they are in there, the more they are getting the attention of the plant wizard, and eventually like the control of the plant wizard will be like stronger, or maybe like the attention of the plant wizard will be stronger focused on them. But this shouldn't be like part of this table, I believe. This is a semi-separate thing. Another thing would be like just like an unstable building. Like the idea is like this has been abandoned for like 100+ years, so maybe the house would be one thing, which is like collapses or partially collapses on the player's entrance. Let's further think. Then maybe like kind of like, what are they called? Are they called like mimics? The idea is like this is already like a kind of plant-based building, so there might be items in there that at first glance seem like just like inventory, but on second glance glance, they would be like actually living or like semi-living stuff. So let's call it mimic for now, or like plant mimic. Probably like one idea. Yeah, I'm really bad at traps. I don't know. I don't like them too much. Probably has to do with like me not running very many dungeons, but I think it makes sense here. Yeah. This might be a start for now. I think I will like start to stock some of the rooms and then I will come back to this and maybe new ideas will come to me. But let's go. I think the plaza will skip for now. We can start with our first room, first house. Okay. We have special road. Oh yeah, I don't know. I hope I made it clear. Like this line will randomly roll stuff from the sheet I had before, but I believe I have to correct it to okay, now it should work. Okay, so we have a monster. We have we have a monster and then we check the monster and we have actually a chimera. Okay, for the next one we have another monster. This time it's a vine losses. Then we have another monster, another chimera. Players will love it. A trap, which would be plant mimic. Then an empty room. Another empty room. Another chimera. Another empty room. A trap. We have another plant. Empty room. Another empty room. Another. Okay, I think I'm not too happy with this one. Let me check maybe. But we have these big long stretch of empty 11 to 16, which would be like 11, 12, 13. Well, that's kind of fine. I don't know. I'm not too big a fan of having like this giant stretch of like empty rooms, but this seems like kind of fine to me with how they're distributed. Maybe this will work. I have like 1, 2, 3 plant mimics, which is probably fine. Like if they are thorough in their search and they want to go like through every room, or like they will probably go through almost every room, so there's a good chance for them to encounter like 2 plant mimics, which would be fine. Like the first one will surprise them, and then the second one, it's pretty much on them to like not be surprised. That I'm fine with. Let's further check. I feel like I have too many monsters in there. Like I rolled a little, I believe, a little more than it's supposed to. I should probably tune that down a little, especially with me having like this additional mechanism of getting the plant wizard's attention here, and by extension the plant without sending monsters their way. So maybe like cut out a few of them. What do we have? Like Chimera. Let's be like this, and then we cut one of those, one of those, and it sounds fine for now. So what do we do with these empty spots? I guess we just like go all over again, right? Let's go. What do we get? Another special. Oh yeah, that's that I like, because I like when I wrote the first special I was already, oh, that's a little too few for my liking. Then we have another empty room and another monster which we don't like, so let's see. Another empty room. Okay. Like for the adjacent buildings, I'm not even sure why I put them here. I might just leave them, right? They should be adjacent, but like it's kind of weird to turn them into like a dungeon room. And then like the plaza, which would be like roughly this area. Maybe I should like mark it on here. Be like, what is it? Roughly this area. It should be like a larger space, like maybe make it into like plaza 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that. Like this is just like a forest, which within it like the plant wizard. I don't think I'm going to roll much for that. It will just be depending on how exactly they want to interact with the plant wizard and how the plant wizard's position is on them. Okay, so let's do it that way. Like add like maybe 2 more plazas. It's like still 1 room, but like 3 things. So we have another trap. Would be a plant mimic. I think that's like maybe 1, 2 too many. What other traps do we get? A living bridge. Well, it doesn't make too much sense here. But maybe switch it around. Like this will be like a living bridge, and then we can put a plant mimic here. Then we get an empty place and another trap. Another living bridge. I think I definitely need more traps, right? Probably like a few more of the houses should be unstable, but I have it here. So for this one, empty 2 times empty sounds boring. Let's put an armor here. Okay. I think that's it for now, for the beginning. As I said, I don't know, I don't even think of that, but I feel like this bridge thing, I like the idea, so I want a few more of them. Maybe I made it into like a different thing, like separate from like traps. So like, let's put like a living bridge next to this one. And do we have more bridges? It's actually the only one, right? It's the only one, okay. So this will be empty. There's like a trap in there that still has to be filled in. And the installed house I also like, but I'm not entirely sure. House empty. There's like so few traps here. Empty. Let's see. I think I'm just going to roll, like maybe give it a, what's fair? Maybe a 2 in 6 chance for there to, like, let's make it this way. Like it's a 1 on a 6-sided die is like a living bridge, and a 2 would be like a missing bridge. So it's probably like easiest to do it on here. So which would be like, I guess I should maybe put myself like a little legend in here, which would be bridge. Then we have the next thing would be like living bridge, but we probably should choose a different color. Maybe we can't put green on green. Let's do like dark green on green, which would be like living bridge. And then we maybe as a third thing, what did I say? Like an unstable bridge. Maybe make it, let's go with orange. And okay. And probably like red to make it easily detectable. And then we roll, so this is like 4, 5, 6. Probably fits better the other way around. Like the living bridge seems like more severe than... What am I doing? God damn it. I hate this about roll 20. Okay. What is this? Okay. So let's roll. I'm just doing it like physically, which would be like red, this. Okay. So we have a living bridge. How do I do it? That sounds annoying. I guess I have to do it this way, right? And permanently switch around. Orange. Just like, nah, still works. Okay, and then we have like 2 to 5, which is a normal bridge. It's going to be quite tedious. I'm not entirely sure if I should also put like missing bridge on there. Maybe 1, 2 is a bridge, and then there's like simply like no connection, because I'm not sure if I want all of them to be like connected by default. The entire point is that like some of them are not connected. What am I doing? Anyway, okay, so the bridge thing is off of this, and probably I should also delete like bridge. That works. Oh, okay, now it makes sense. The plant mimics are traps, so there aren't that few traps. Did it finish loading now? Okay. So, which is like 3 to 4 is a bridge, and then we have like 1 to 2. No bridge. Or bridge. Yeah. And it's quite tedious. I think like this one I'm going to do like in the very end, and probably not record it because it seems like it's very boring to me, and I assume that's also the case for other people. But yeah, that I will do at the very end. Okay, so we have to like connect these bridges later on. And then what else do I have to do? I probably should figure out like this trap. Wait, what is the 10? It's quite close to this. Maybe like some kind of trapdoor that like leads to like right to the wizard, because it's like so close. But I haven't like quite figured out what the idea is. Let's write it just down like it's like here. Trap door to wizard. But I'm not entirely happy with that. Will have to figure out what exactly this trapdoor is. Might do it like now or like in the session worst case. But like the idea itself I like. Okay. This I have. Then we should probably go to treasure, and I'm going to just like go d6. Like a 6 will be like 2 rolls on my treasure table. 4, 5 is like 1 treasure item, and the rest is empty. Let's go with that. And we can just like roll here. Let's do it this way. Okay. We have 4, which would be I already forgot. What does it say? 6 is 2 items, and 4, 5 is 1 item. Okay. I have like my random table here. And what do we have? There are a chest full of clothing. Okay. Clothing or cloth? No, clothing. Okay. What do we have next? We have a 5. So another 1 item again. We have a jewelry. Jewelry. And it's a pendant. Okay, then we have nothing. We have nothing. We have 1 item again. We have wine. Probably the equivalent to a sack would be a bottle. We have 2 items, which is exquisite wine, another bottle, and 38 silver pieces. This is and another 2 pieces. What do we have? We get a sack full of narcotics and a chest full of ceramics. Sack and ceramics would be chest. And that would, now that I'm looking at the plant mimic, that would probably like fit for the plant mimic. I imagine that like sometimes in the kitchens you can like inside like from the wall you can have, I don't know what do we even call them, I don't even know German, like stuff that protrudes out from the wall where you can like hang, like for example like cooking pots and other stuff. And the idea would be that like the ceramics hangs on the wall, and when the stuff that protrudes from the wall isn't just like dead wood, but actually like living plant stuff that has a will of its own. And for the next one, we have another empty one, another empty one. We have 1 item, which would be 95 silver pieces. 2 items. Chicken. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense with this place being pretty dead. So we go with like silver pieces and gold pieces. Okay. That's big. Empty. We have 1 item, which would be a cow, which doesn't make any sense. We have a sack full of cloth. Then we have another 1 piece. Piercing, okay. Then we have 2 pieces. Silver pieces and an earring. What it was? 1, 3. We have 1 piece. A white milky gem. Gem. Another 1 piece. Yeah, the players are lucky with how much jewelry they are rolling. This one's empty. We have 2 items, which is a magic item and a chest full of cloth. Okay, and we'll roll the magic item later on. Maybe I will like make one myself, because yeah, the idea is like this is a big plant wizard, so should probably be related, maybe, I don't know. I will figure it out. For this we have a beer. Okay. Should probably like decorate to a chest, probably a keg. Then we have nothing, and we have one item. Another gem. They are lucky. White gem. Nothing, nothing. 2. Another gem, blue transparent, and beer. Can't really imagine a plant mimic that fits here, but that will be a future problem. Now let's roll the remaining pieces. A brown milky gem and silver pieces. And then we have one more, which is another gem. Like, wow. And nothing. Okay. Okay. I guess they wrote really well on their stuff. What did the shadow give this again? Okay. I will need to look at my random table once again. That will take too much time. Okay. So, this one. I will probably have to figure out my special, right? It's only one. It's too special, too special, too special. Let's see. I didn't even write down what I wanted to put there. Currently my special is plant people and my random table. I don't quite like the idea of like the plant people, but of course like it wouldn't really fit with like my plant with that. He's not the people liking type. Like it's more like helpful tools for them rather than like actual liking people around them. But the idea I'm coming up with now is like maybe we have like sentient actual plants, so like kind of ants. So I'm probably putting down like ant here. Like maybe like not like Lord of the Rings ant size, but like actual sentient plants that have like some capacity to speak. I'm not quite sure. That's I will like figure out later on. Because yeah, if I actually like to have them in my world or not. But it would definitely fit. I believe we've done most of it. I will have to like do the remaining connections. We can like maybe do like a quick check if this makes like some sense. Like I will definitely like have to figure like stuff out from like my plaza. Like I imagine there will be like a decent amount of statues like commemorating like the city and their deities. Maybe not the deities because like or like only to some degree because there's also the temple next to it. But this I would definitely imagine. The mimic works fine for me. This is definitely fine. And then we have like an empty camera room. What do we have here? Like very simple rooms. I think it works fine. Oh, I forgot to roll my magic item. Let's see what I get. I get a potion of aging. Do I want that? Sounds like something elf would be like really obsessed with. Like if you imagine like a teenage elf, and unlike like human teenagers that like wait like, I don't know, 5 years and they're starting to become like actual adults. They're like still having to wait, I don't know, decades. That sounds fun. I'm going with that. Potion of aging. Okay. Why do I have my magic item? Magic. I believe it was together with the beer. Or no, with the cloth, right? With the cloth. Potion of aging. Okay. I think I'm decently happy with this one. Yeah, I will definitely like also have to figure out how exactly I resolve the plant without getting attention. I'm thinking like a mechanism I'm generally like to use is I believe it's from the Angry GM. I forgot how it's called, where you put like dice and you have a dice pool that increases every time like the players basically like waste time or like spend like let's call it a dungeon turn doing stuff, and whenever they do like stuff that might get them attention, the dice pool is rolled and it's determined whether or not like people like react to them. They get a random encounter, but in this case like there wouldn't be like a random encounter roll, but instead there would be like the tension of the what is it, the Sauron's eye or whatever that is directed at the players will more and more narrow in on them. I haven't figured it quite out, but I think for now it works. Yeah, I will finish up this stuff, and yeah, I hope this was like somewhat insightful into my own thinking process. I hope I myself learned stuff for dungeons. And what else? Oh yeah, if people watch this long, maybe people can give me advice, because I'm not doing this too regularly. Thank you.